See if you can go live online. So hard to try and figure this out. Telling me to give permission. So long, and now suddenly it's telling me to give. Same, I've done all the troubleshooting I can. I'm going to have to call. What are you looking for, though? Yeah, see, it says please grant necessary privilege. Oh, I'm gonna have to download some Zoom and upload them myself.
Is there anything that you guys want me to talk about or? Types of deeds?
Okay.
And I got it, thank you. But I don't think there's any. Password's not saved, is it? No. What's my password?
I think our camera's off here. My camera on.
Okay. Good? Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, guys, so today we're gonna talk about deeds and liens and do's and don'ts, okay? Guys, I know you're more. Okay, so if you guys understand what a title agency does to begin with, what we do, if you don't, it's okay, I can explain it to you. Yeah, so like in the event that if you're a seller, you hire us to make sure that there's no mortgages on the property, there's taxes that are due owing, no water bills. It's our job. We do a full thorough examination. It's called a 40-year search. We do it and we'll let the bank know, okay, guys, here, we're gonna make sure seller, when the bank will send us the money, then we give the seller their money, we take out any costs like towards the payoff, anything of that nature. Planning, we pay the agent from that money, so the bank trusts us to handle the disbursement of those funds. Okay. So is that clear? Okay. If you guys have any questions, it's okay, just ask me. Okay, what's a covenant deed? So there's so many different types of deeds. The most common deed that we use is a warranty deed. That's what we use as a title agency, okay? A covenant deed includes only covenants pertaining to the acts of the grantor, but not of those So like some purchasers may see a covenant deed from a bank. So when a property goes into foreclosure, let's say like you lose the house to the bank. Saw the house and went through it.
Probably not.
Never. Most likely never. Oh, a warranty deed, which we'll get to what it is in a minute, but they can't guarantee. They can't guarantee that the property's. So what the bank is almost always willing to sign and only willing to sign is a covenant deed. It says, hey, we just have interest in the property, but like, we've never seen the house, we're not guaranteeing nothing. Here, and they'll sign the covenant deed, okay? We don't really prepare covenant deeds until it's deemed necessary by a court order, a judge, or an attorney. But normally the banks usually will. Okay, but usually when there's like a foreclosure, the bank will usually send us the deed, okay? Do you have any questions about that? Warranty deed, this is what you're gonna see all the time. This is basically, okay? So when a warranty deed is signed, you are guaranteeing that the property is free and clear of any liens. You're giving that warranty. So if I were to sign a warranty deed over to you, I am in lawful possession of the property. It's my property. I am signing it, acknowledging that I'm guaranteeing that I'm the owner, okay? I have clear title. So I'm signing a warranty deed because I know I have no issues on title. In the event that I do and I sign it, the bank can come back and sue me and say, hey, you gave me a warranty deed. You're guaranteeing that the grantee will be able to enjoy the property without interference from others. So when you purchase, you always want to make sure you purchase on a warranty deed because it's a worry about anybody knocking on my door. This is my house, not yours. In the event that that does happen to you, guess what? You have a warranty deed and you have title. Title insurance will protect you in that regard, okay? And all a warranty deed guarantees that the property is free from all encumbrances, like mortgages, tax liens, and most importantly, that the grantor will defend the title of the property against any third parties that make a claim. Right to this property, the title company wouldn't even have to get a. Buyer would be involved, they would have to make a claim on the title insurance policy. So, okay, but yeah, we're the ones that handle that. Funny, you guys, nothing irks my soul than when somebody says I need a quick claim deed. Okay, it's not a quick claim deed. So I did this presentation years ago when KW first opened, right at Old Temperate. She was part of our office at the time. Question, and she raised her hand. Is a quick claim deed. It's a quick claim deed. Like there's nothing quick about it. It's just a quick claim deed. Like you're quick claiming. Let's say I'm quick claiming my property to you. I'm not quick. No, I'm just giving up any all interest I have in the property, okay? So on a $100,000 sale, you're paying $860 to the state and to the county. $860 total. You guys learned that in your real estate exam. $1.10 of that per thousand goes to the county. $7.50 of that goes to the state of Michigan. Okay, so this is collected for when you record the deed. My question to you is, do you think you have to pay transfer tax? Yes, you do. Any conveyance always pay transfer taxes. There are exemptions. You don't pay transfer taxes on it. transfer taxes in that regard. But, and it's not a quick claim deed, I just put that as a joke. But yeah, you always have to transfer taxes on that, okay? You always do pay transfer taxes, okay? So a legal instrument that conveys title from a grantor to a grantee where the party quit claims their interest, not warranting the title of the property. Guys that have in flag, red flag. They say, no, 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 we're not giving you. Now, you'll get attorneys that want to be heroes. I mean, my clients only want to sign a covenant deed. I'll argue with them. I'll say, why? We have the title work. It's clear. Why do you want to be? My clients have lived in the property and okay, well, you have the title insurance. What do you care? But for the sake of having peace in this transaction. But if you're dealing with a foreclosure, you're not going to get that. You're just going to have to accept it. But if you get somebody that's that client house in Detroit, you'll get a lot of those houses in like English and like the Warrendale areas. You never ever. Never advise your buyers to purchase a property on a quitclaim deed. You guys always want to advise your clients, your buyers, to buy in a warranty deed, even yourself. But never, ever, ever purchase on a quitclaim deed, okay? Doesn't provide marketable title. You'll notice in your purchase. The reason the judge is going to tell me like it's that the property is free and clear. It shouldn't guarantee that it was marketable. Okay. Off of property. So just say I owe Uncle Sam IRS, right? And he property because Lola Alzane owns this property and she owes us. I remove my name off of the title. Well, if I quit claim deed, then Doreen can sell it. So quit claim deed. Well, but in the event that I have, and I'm like, you know what, Doreen, you're my, I trust you, and I put that's my name on the property, still sticks. It doesn't stick to you, but it will stick to the sticks to me and the property. And on every single property until they. So what a lot of people do, especially in our amazing community, very creative. We're very cultural and we're very creative. We think that quit claim deeds cure everything. Did you guys watch My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Did you watch it or no? You know how the dad, he thinks when that thinks that quit claim deeds fix everything. They think that it cures title, that it helps remove liens. So it's fixed to the house. It's gonna. Let's say Doreen was what we call a bona fide purchaser. She purchased that house from me. Okay, this is like a real case that happened in my. title agency missed it, and now Doreen owns his house, and there's $100,000 lien against the property, and I signed a warranty deed. Yeah. So now she has a claim. She has to go back to her title insurance policy because I signed a warranty deed and she bought the house from me. She can. For it. So I had two big claims. The guy went to jail.
Yeah.
In 2014, and then in 20 the house. They sold the house on it. The and he came to us. I guess he went to the house. Found out his girlfriend quit claimed the property to herself, and it was a fraudulent deed. Those buyers are protected because they had title insurance and they later and they were able to make. But those buyers were protected, and the title insurance. No, because he came out of jail and he has his house, he doesn't have a house. So he got paid out for it.
What happens to the girlfriend?
She's. Those ever get caught up, that's between the title insurance company. No, but that's a claim, that's a hit against. Agencies never want a hit, but. Another file that we had was a tax lien. The guy quit claim, see how tax liens and quit claims go like one on one, so it's like saying, let's say Muj's real name is. So he had a property in his Mustafa Saad, and then he quit claimed it from. And then from Muj Sanad to an LLC. So like my examiner only ran a name check, not Mustafa Saad. You get it? So because she ran a name check on like, because she went back like 3 deeds. Talks after that. But what happened, for example, had $1,000 tax in against the. Maybe 150, I don't remember. So about 6 months later, the IRS came knocking on the door and said, we have a lien against the person up to the door said, I bought this house 6 months ago. I had a title insurance agency and everything. Oh, we had a lien placed on this property. Because we didn't run the proper name check, we didn't see it. But guess what? That buyer was insured. We paid down the other guy's balance. That was our fault. So that's why title insurance and really important. Okay. So do you guys understand that story? Because sometimes I speak in lingo as if title lingo. Okay. Yeah, that's why it's very important to know what you're getting yourself into. It's important to know the difference between the types of deeds and lien. So I'm going to ask you again, will against the property even if you quit claim it? That will try to convince you that even if a person files for bankruptcy, by the way, let's say a bank, let's say you have a first and a second mortgage, and he has a first and a second mortgage on his house. Stop calling him collecting payments. But the judge says, Mooj, you can keep your house. Payments. 15. That lien is still on title. No, I filed for bankruptcy. They're all my discharge papers. The bank- Pay that second mortgage. By law, the bank is not allowed to collect, but they don't have to remove the lien off the title. They're not forced to remove it off the title. Because they're not forced, if he calls the bank and he says, I need to have this lien discharged title, the bank might tell him, yeah, which is very simple, no problem, we'll do it for you, or two, go screw yourself, we want our money. It's been 15 years, but guess what, we want our money. At that point, he can negotiate, and, there's different tactics that he can use, but bankruptcy does not remove the lien off of title, okay? So it's good for you guys to know this stuff. Okay, you already went over this. So quitclaim deeds don't remove liens off of title either. You shouldn't advise your buyer to accept one. Yeah, add or remove family members. Trust, like I could clean my house from my name to my trust. So another thing that people don't know is if like, let's say Sam's selling his house, or he lives in his house and his family, and he's like, Lola, my wife's not on title. I want to add her on title for the sake of having keys. God forbid something happens to me. Bought his house a few months ago, and he quit claims. He does a quit claim deed on the property as his wife. That title insurance policy, wait. So if you do a quit claim deed, any title usually runs with as long as you own the property. The minute he does a quit claim deed, it's void. So let's say 6 months after he does that quit claim property, the guy that owned it before you owes us. So that's the title insurance company's defense. You guys know insurance companies will do anything to make sure that they don't pay out, right? That's their first claim of defense. Well, after a quick, I'll tell you, it's not worth it. It's like, it's a waste of money. If I don't want to say it's a waste of money, it's not worth it for you to, it's been free and clear, but it's not good to do a quit claim deed. What I would have advised him to do is send, instead of quit claiming to your wife, quit claim to your trust, because there's an exception. The policy is not null and void. For you to always quit claim to a trust instead. Like for my building, when I purchased my building across the street, I had to purchase it in the business name, but then I freaked out because I didn't want to quit, another LLC, because I wanted to make sure my title insurance policy was in play, right? And I had to quit claim it to trust initially before I waited a couple years and I got it out. Popped up against title, I can make a claim. So if you're buying a property cash, title. Lots of ads in the beginning. And your purchase agreement. Listen, man, she doesn't have to be a borrower. She doesn't have to take out the mortgage in her name. But she will sign a few documents for the bank because I'm not a borrower. I'm not responsible for making the payment. I understand that if my spouse misses any payments, God forbid, I no longer have interest in the home. Not be void because she bought the property with her husband at the time, and everybody's protected.
You can get the house without the mortgage, correct?
Yeah. No, we want all of our money. It was 110,000. Yeah, your payment's $1,000 a month, but we want 100 and no, you weren't supposed to put paying the property in. Now, the likelihood of them doing that is very slim if you're making. Why not just do it right? Do you guys get that? So it's important that you guys know that as well. Quick claim deeds come in handy. Tax title, which I was gonna also talk about too in a little bit. Sometimes, let's say Stan had a property and he lost. And then Mush goes to buy it. And Mush comes to me, he wants to sell it. And I'm like, oh, it's a tax title, Mush, we gotta figure out if we can clear title. There's a guy named Stan Omari on there. We'll get him to sign a quick claim deed, mention any interest he has. That's another way that quick claim deeds can be beneficial to us. Okay. Well, I've done that before where I've had to. Because if you have a consideration, that's also. They're good for it. Indeed, unless you're exempt, and there's like a list of exemption codes. So nice to see
It was
you.
actually very good. Want to sit for the class?
Huh?
Do you want to sit for the class?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I got the honey-do list.
Okay, yeah,
I'm interested.
I'm sure.
This says transfer taxes can never be avoided, okay? Never unless they're exempt. So like, if you're selling. Parents are assigned to their kids, and they're selling the house for 200,000, for example. Oh, what is the state portion again? $7.50 per thousand, right? Goes to the state and then. For grandkids, the $7.50 per thousand. And if the consideration amount is less than $100. Okay, this is like a cool fun. But basically, so there's a way that you can avoid transfer taxes if the property that you're selling today is worth less than it was when you bought it. Very, very, very. That's because it was an unusual scenario. So, but I'll just give you guys the basic information because knowledge is power. Like it's worth less today than it was when you bought it. It has to be a home that you live in. So the tax assessed value is always half of what for the fair market value. So if your house is worth 500,000, value is always half of what's actually what the city thinks it's worth. So let's say when you bought it, your property side it was at 250,000, but then today, you're actually buying it for like 300,000. Which means that it would be at 150,000. You guys get that? So it'd be half of that, what you're actually buying it for. So if it's half, if it's lower the year that you're buying it, and the property was sold for a price in which a willing buyer and a willing seller. Okay, so the property was sold for a price in which a buyer and a willing seller would arrive through an arm's length. So an arm's length, do you guys know what arm's length is? You guys will be seeing more of that if you've ever listened to my short sale presentation, but like people are saying short. Don't think so. Well, with all the COVID stimulus checks. They can be sold at a price to a buyer that you know at arm. Okay, so those are the three things. Although title insurance is optional for cash deals, do encourage yourself to purchase title insurance for a number of reasons. One of them, we just went over the tax liens, right? But all parties are protected. Seller and buyer will both have a peace of mind knowing that a title company handles the. Or would I ever advise anybody to buy it? Okay, so those are the two takeaways that you get this session. Okay. Reside, you lucky this house, or you know, like I just lost a brother, uncle, and they were part of this house. You guys need to call me because I have to pull the property that it doesn't have to go to probate, or like it's in the name of a trust on title, and there's the appropriate verbiage determine how, you know, we can split the proceeds. I'm not a judge, so if a property should not be listed, and property, the grandma died, worry about it, the grandma's on title. Will specifically states that grandson that she wants to get it. I'm not a judge. I can't. Or it has to go through probate. Okay. He gets things in quicker. Don't encourage your buyer to purchase on a quitclaim deed, even if it's a tax title. Don't sell quitclaim deeds. People used to sell quitclaim deeds all the time. God, you guys are not of that. Nobody's ever done that here. But before KW opened, yeah, agents used to sell quitclaim deeds. You guys are not attorneys, okay? Such a whole presentation. That was it for that. So do you guys have any questions about the deeds? Do you guys have any questions on tax titles? So when a bank, when you lose your, goes to the judicial auction, that's different. A tax title, a tax auction is when you don't pay your property taxes. When you haven't paid your property taxes for 3 years, it goes to the tax auction in September. So this September, we're in 22. So people that haven't paid their taxes since 2019, there's a list with Wayne County. You'll see the list, and all those houses are going to auction in September. First opened, like 3 years in business, I was so excited. I was married at the time. And I bought a house for like 90 grand. And I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, it was like 80 grand. I was like, oh my God. I called at the time, it was my husband. I'm like, hey, Reese, oh my God, I bought this house. I'm so excited. He's like, what do you mean you bought a house? I'm like, I don't know. I went on an online auction. I just see that there wasn't a lot on title. So I was able to determine that, hey, this is going to be an easy fix. Like I can clean title easily. It's like, well, he did. I mean, he drove by and he called me. He's like, it actually looks like a really. I did it later. So I got lucky. It wasn't, I would not advise any to do that. I just had 4 years and I just clicked test. But when it goes to the tax auction, it's not always big. So if you purchase a property from the tax auction and there were 2 banks on there, and the guy has a state tax in against his name. FOIA package, which I'll explain to you what that is. I'm going to tell you I can't insure it. You would hire an attorney to quiet title the property to your buyer's name. And there's only one other person on title. FOIA Act, the Freedom of Information Act, public records. We send a check to Wayne County, it's like $10 or something, $8. FOIA package pulled on Doreen's name. Let's say Doreen was one that. I can see that Doreen had legal notice. And she took it upon herself to not show up to court. I'll insure over it. That's what the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act package shows me. It shows me that, okay,